everyone, I'm Shantakumari. Today we are going to see about methods and recording of behavior. Methods of behavior. Methods of studying animal behavior involve observing, recording, and analyzing how animals interact with their environment, conspecifics, and other species. These methods are critical in fields such as ethology, behavioral ecology, and conservation biology. First one, observation method. It has four types. One is naturalistic observation, focal sampling, scan sampling, and ad libitum sampling. Naturalistic observation means it used to watching animals in their natural habitat without interference. Focal sampling means observing and recording all behaviors of a single individual over a specific time. Scan sampling, periodically recording the behavior of all individuals in a group. Ad libitum sampling, recording behaviors as they occur without predefined constraints. Then experimental methods. It has three types. One is controlled experiments, field experiments, and laboratory studies. In controlled experiments, it's used to do manipulating environmental variables to observe changes in behavior. For example, altering their food availability. Field experiments, conducting experiments in the animal's natural habitat to maintain ecological validity. Then laboratory studies, using controlled indoor environments to isolate specific variables. Then third one is ethological methods. It has two types. One is ethograms and the second one is behavioral ecology studies. Ethogram means comprehensive catalogues of all observed behaviors in a species. Then second one is behavioral ecology studies, examining behaviors in the context of environmental pressures and evolutionary adaptation. And the fourth one is physiological and neurological methods. First one is telemetry and GPS tracking. It is used to monitoring movement and spatial behavior using tracking devices. Then hormonal analysis, measuring hormonal level to assess stress or reproductive states. Then last one is brain activity monitoring. It's a technique is used like EEG or MRI in controlled settings. And the fifth one is genetic and evolutionary approaches. In first, comparative studies, comparing behaviors across related species to infer evolutionary adaptations. Then behavioral genetics, investigating the heritability of behaviors using breeding experiments or molecular techniques. Then social behavior analysis, social network analysis, mapping and analyzing interactions within a group to study hierarchies or cooperation. Then playback experiments, using recorded sounds to study communication or response to threats. And technological methods, motion detection cameras, monitoring elusive or nocturnal animals. Acoustic monitoring, it used to recording and analyzing vocalizations. Then drones, observing animal behavior from a distance without causing disturbance. Then behavioral test, maze test, assessing learning, memory, or problem solving in animals. Then choice test, offering animals two or more options to study preferences. Then predator simulation test, it is due to introducing artificial predators to measure responses. The ninth one is conservation and applied behavior studies. First one is rehabilitation monitoring. It is used to studying the behavior of animals related into the wild after captivity. Then human wildlife conflict studies, observing behavior in human modified landscapes. Then 10th one is ethical consideration, ensuring minimal stress or harm to animals during observations or experiments, adhering to guidelines set by animal ethics committees and conservation organizations. Then we are going to see about recording of animal behavior. Recording animal behavior involves systematically capturing observations to analyze and interpret them later. The methods used depend on the type of behavior, species, and research objectives. The first one is manual recording, field notes, ethograms, tally sheets, and behavioral logs. In field notes, it used to do writing detailed observations In notebooks focusing on specific behaviors, locations, and times. Ethograms, creating a catalog of all observable behaviors and using it as a reference for consistent recording. Then tally sheets, marking occurrences of specific behaviors on pre-designed sheets. Then behavioral logs, noting the timing and sequence of behaviors in real time. And the second one is video recording. For example, fixed cameras, variable cameras, high-speed cameras, and infrared cameras. In fixed cameras, it is a positioning cameras in habitats to record continuously or at a specific times. Then variable cameras, attaching small cameras to animals for a first-person perspective. For example, collars, high-speed cameras, capturing rapid movements for detailed analysis, for example, flight or predation. Then infrared cameras, it used to recording nocturnal behaviors in low light environments. Then audio recording, acoustic monitors, it is used to capturing vocalizations, echolocation or other sounds using sensitive microphones. Then bioacoustic loggers, it is used to recording environmental sounds over long periods to analyze communication or presence. Then playback techniques, playing back recorded sounds to study animal responses. Then automated data collection, motion activated cameras recording behavior when movement is detected, useful for elusive species. Then GPS and telemetry devices, tracking spatial behavior and movement patterns. Accelerometers, measuring changes in movement and activity levels. Then time sampling methods, instantaneous sampling, it is used to recording the behavior of an individual or group at predefined intervals. Then continuous sampling, recording all observed behaviors in real time. Then 1-0 sampling, marking whether a behavior occurs 1 or does not occur. It marks as 0 during a fixed period. Then specialized tools, drones capturing aerial views of animal behavior in open areas or hard to reach habitats. Then tracking collars, it used to combining GPS and accelerometer data to correlate movement with observed behaviors. Then environmental sensors, measuring temperature, humidity or other factors alongside behavior. Then the digital tools and software used for recording the behavior. One is Observer XT. It is a software for coding and analyzing behavioral data. Then BORIS, it means Behavioral Observation Research Interactive Software. It is a free tool for recording and analyzing behavior. Then ELAN or UNBIL, annotating and analyzing video or audio recordings. Then conservation focused recording, citizen science, collaborating with the public to gather behavioral data, for example, bird watching apps, camera traps, monitoring animal presence and behavior in conservation areas. Then key considerations in recording. First one is accuracy, clearly defined and standardized behaviors to reduce observer bias. Then ethics, minimize disturbance to animals during recording. Then replication, ensure observations are consistent across different times and conditions. And storage, safeguard recorded data, ensuring video, audio or notes are backed up and accessible. Thank you for your interest and patient listening.